armed build in Oblivion Remastered, and it
Oh,
is a lot easier now than it was before. But it's mainly to
really?
do with the fact that the enemies are no longer damage sponges. And I've been running with
Mm.
unarmed without armor at all as my character. And I am still tanking the absolute shit out of everything in Oblivion Remastered.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I'm tanky as fuck, and I'm trying to play a fucking unarmored sorcerer, fucking Yakub, and I'm just able to tank just even the strongest of skeletons attacking me so far.
Well, part of it is because uh, I think part of it is, and yes, we are in fact live. Hello, everyone. We are
Hello.
currently discussing Oblivion Remastered. I think part of it is because, once again, the enemies don't just get in an infinitely increasing amounts of health and damage, health and strength, the more you level up. So now your actual health pool matters more and more because, well, the enemies seem to have a finite amount of, or a fixed amount of damage they can actually do. So
That's
it's the
good,
point
yeah.
where earlier on the game is tougher, at least when you face the exact same enemy. But more you level up, the more those same fights become easier. That's honestly where it should be.
Okay, good. I still think Oblivion probably would have been better off if they just went for certain areas are leveled differently than others, though. Probably would have been better off doing that, but I can see why they chose to do it
They're,
level based.
they're trying to be as faithful to the original as possible while fixing things that were blatantly broken in the unfun way in the original. And I think they
Yeah.
actually, in terms of the actual gameplay, they've done a decent job on that.
They made sure not to change that one where after you leave the painting quest, he says, let's go to the real world, and then the game instantly crashes. They made sure not to fix that, because that's really
Lovely.
funny.
Lovely.
Oh, God.
I know a lot of
Oh,
these scripting bugs are still there, like the old bug of having the captain of Kavach constantly spouting the same lines until not telling you go find the Lord's ring, so you have to do that on yourself and know to do that. But
uh,
that's more of the territory. Like I so, anyways, let's actually get into the actual comic. Or for start, let's talk with the chat here. Siege says, hello everyone. May the tism commence. The horror of the horror, says Horus. The horror of this commencing the moment it gets the horror leaves and something worse comes into view. Siege says, the scuffle of Eriadu. I have no clue what's happening. I can barely recall the last issue. We lost too many brain cells every time one of those comics rolls around that we remember something is by all means a miracle. Oh god, no, it's live. Bound to suffer. I mean, hello, Ace, says Horus.
oh, wow, this is the Battle of Eriadu comic, then. I see now. I fully understand now. I
Uh,
now completely understand what we're in for.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they actually explain how the storm wall fell in this issue.
Right? Before anyone was able to get there, mind you. Oh.
If imagine if they don't ever explain how the storm wall fell during the entirety of the High Republic arc. That's just never explained at all. That would be,
A Karking spilled my soda. Oh, fuck.
huh?
No, I was making a joke about how that. If they just don't explain it, we can just assume some motherfucker spilled a soda can on the control pad or something.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I luckily did not actually spill soda on myself.
Good, good. Nico says, best of luck. Indeed. In the High Republic, there is no luck. There is roll natural 20s if you're a woman, gay, or any other such shit.
Oh, God.
Indeed. Now, let's continue. And this time, we do have a new writer for this, so... We have Alyssa Wong, who... At least it's not Daniel Jose Older, right?
Exactly.
So we do have, but for the sake of it, let's see how many people had to read the plot of this comic before it became publicly available. Aura says, explain, Ace, what is that strange word that you have used? Please, we get no information on anything important in the comic. All is a Wang. Nice name. All right. I see what you did there. Anyways, so we have Alyssa Wong, the writer, Tyler Smith, and Jimmy Betancourt as the letters. So that's 3 people that have had to read the plot of this comic. Spencer Cushing, an editor, so that's 4. An assistant editor, Joe Cavanaugh, which is 5. You cannot be serious! Oh,
What?
never mind. That's the fault on my side here. Okay, never mind. So we have another editor, Grace Orris, so that's 6. A senior editor, Robert Simpson, that's 7. And then the Lucasfilm Story Group, Matt Martin, Pablo Hidalgo, and Emily Shukukani. So 8, 9, and 10. So once again, 10 people had to work on this comic before it became publicly available.
Figures.
All right. So let's see what they give us for the Battle of Eriadu. If they ever even address how the Stormwalls fell. You know, the massive...
They have to. They can't just ignore that.
You say that, but...
I'm sure they can, but they can't. Like, it's plausible that they do, but if they actually do it... What the fuck?
It'll just be another highlight in a long list of highlights of everything wrong with High Republic.
True that. Make it one of the biggest mistakes, though.
Or said, we just finished a series that had at most, 4 people checking the story in all, and it was 1,000,000 times better than this group of drooling apes? Correct.
That's right. It's almost like either they don't care... No, I think they don't care.
Or it says, Alpharius, they have to? Like you and Omegon have to decide who is who?
Yesn't.
Star Wars The High Republic, Trials of the Jedi. The final confrontation between the Jedi and the Nihil looms. The valiant Jedi are spread thin as they are put to the ultimate test on 4 separate fronts. Some rally against Nihil marauders who plan to punish the planet Eriadu for its resistance to their rule. Others patrol the dangerous border of the Occlusion Zone, protecting planets from vicious Nihil raids. A brave few struggle to stop the mysterious blight, an infection moving from planet to planet, draining worlds of life. Still others...
Where did this come from?
They've been mentioning it here and there, but we've never actually seen it much in the comics, so that is a good fucking question.
Oh my god.
I'm assuming that it came from the mad doctor scientist character.
Probably Bulan, yeah.
But we have not actually seen the blight in action or what the hell it actually does, so, you know. Still others battle the sinister Marchion Ro and his monstrous nameless creatures. To save the Republic, the Jedi will face their fears and their most daunting challenges yet. If they fail on just one of these battlefronts, the wave of darkness will extinguish the light of the Jedi forever. And that's a good thing. At least if we're talking about High Republic Jedi.
Amen.
Siege says, if a stormwall falls in the forest and no one is around to read it, lol. Or it says, no, Siege, the stormwall fell. Fell the forest for these comics to be printed, and then there truly no one around to hear its cry. Save the trees, man, save the trees.
Save the trees.
What if these writers were secretly ultra-environmentalists who were so radical that they were wanting to destroy their own industry that they worked in just to save the trees, bro?
It's brilliant! Why didn't I think of that?
It all makes sense now.
My god. We thought they were idiots this whole time, but they were actually geniuses. They just didn't expect Disney would also be so stupid that they just kept buying more.
That's okay. They can take down Disney as well, which would probably be, if they were ultra-environmentalists, would probably reduce the strain on the electrical grid, reduce the production of plastic toys, reduce the strain.
You know, I'm starting to think removing Disney from the world would be a good thing.
Yeah, funny that. And Disney's the one making the argument for us. Alright, so Eriadu. I guess I can voice this character. My name is Gavi Tactican. Sorry, what the hell is that name? Gavi Tactican?
Tactican.
My name is Gavi Tactican, and for the first time in a long time, I know the Force is with me. Are you hurt?
No, I'm alright. Thank you, Jedi.
Morna healer coming. Emilcine, Vino, Gavi, get the civilians inside.
Copy that. Crash.
Ryu, keep holding off the enemy.
Already on it.
This way, to safety. Follow me. Eriadu has been swallowed by war against Nahil. I'm afraid for my friends, but this time I won't let that fear conquer me, because when I reach out with the Force, I can feel them across the galaxy. To me, the Force is a series of threads connecting us all, woven together like a tapestry. The weave of Eriadu City is alive with the fear and fury, almost overwhelming. But if I focus, I can almost see my friends in my mind's eye. Ziokim, pirate extraordinaire, in an aerial dogfight above the city, with also a shit-eating smug grin as he is killing countless people. Crash Ogndwa and Svino Octopet by my side, also smiling. Because war is fantastic, don't you know? Kildo, Kildo, the boy I love. Please be safe. Of course.
Fucking. Of course.
Of course. Let's see if there's an age rating in this comic, too, just for the shits and giggles. There's not in this one.
Of course not.
So, yeah, anyways, let's...
And of course, he has a purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
He's special and he's a homo.
So is Takataken here, but, you know.
Well, you know.
Little Tip Tip, somewhere out there finding her courage, as she gets completely surrounded and presumably eviscerated. And that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing, indeed.
Rue, Padawan turned vigilante who scares me.
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, she does look like an absolutely homicidal maniac who'd smile after butchering dozens of people.
But then so do half the other characters in this so far, so...
Yep. There's the others on the other side. Sorry. Fine.
Ram Jamaran fighting for Deepfried alongside Zine, Murala, and Lula Talisola.
That zine. Or is it a different zine?
Yeah, it's the same zine.
I hate that name is taking up space in my mind.
And one more person. Someone I've known my entire life who I never thought I'd feel again. Drigget? The Starhopper above Eriadu.
My name is Drigget Parse, and I am going to die today. I know this like I know my own heartbeat and the weight of my knife in my hand. I sacrificed everything, endured the unspeakable, done the unforgivable, all for this.
Rah! Those blasted Jedi and the Republic's forces keep coming. What do you mean Drill Leader Alpha has already been neutralized?
Warden, Inner Circle has another message for you. Says it's urgent.
I don't have time for his games right now. I need the rest of my drill ships in the air yesterday.
My chance for revenge against the Nihil. I'll handle it personally, Warden. Heading back to base, and I'll ensure this fleet is up in minutes.
And why exactly would I turn command over to you, Lieutenant?
Haven't I proven my loyalty countless times? I've stolen and killed for you. I may be young, but of all your lieutenants, I'm the only one you can trust. And the modified eviscerator ship based on the schematics I thieved from that master Corellian shipbuilder? The 3 eviscerators the enemy barely managed to destroy just now? Those were just a test run. The rest of the fleet is ready.
Now that's the kind of news I like to hear. Very well, Drigget. The aerial assault of Eriadu City is yours.
I'll need your best pilots to fly the eviscerators. The ships are notoriously temperamental.
You'll have them. You know, I was your age when I first took command. My squad leader was weak, so I killed and replaced her. When I took you in, I saw the same ruthlessness and ambition in you, just tempered with respect for your betters. When the planet belongs to me, ready to be reshaped in my image, you'll have a place at my right hand. There's no one I'd rather have at my side, my little protege.
You've made it this far. I just hold on for a bit longer. Gabby? Where are you going?
I have to find her.
Find who?
Drigget.
Drigget Pars? The Nihil girl who tried to murder you back on Velo?
I know how it sounds, but we've been friends since Light our whole lives. She was my first non-Jedi friend. Light our whole lives.
Jesus Christ. That was awful.
Yes, it was. After everything fell apart, I couldn't feel her in the Force for a long time. But now I can. It's just, I don't remember a time without her. She helped me when I was little. After that, we were inseparable. The folks in Lonissa City used to call us fake twins. We'd swap places all the time just for fun. Okay. This seems like the sort of thing that would probably piss off the Jedi Order quite royally.
Yeah.
Just casually letting a random civilian infiltrate the Order posing as a Jedi. And let's be honest, the Jedi Order is going to fucking tell the difference!
Right. Oh, God. You'd think that'd be the easiest shit imaginable, you know? The people with psychic powers being able to find people who aren't actually members.
Yeah, just 5 seconds walking in there. Wait a second. I don't sense you being such and such. You must actually be such and such instead.
Wait, I know you.
Laughing Cavalier says Jedi conversions therapy. Siege says, "Oh wow, this is terrible."
Oh.
Yes.
Jedi conversion therapy.
Gigolo says, "Let's go, more slop." Yes. Siege says, "She sounds insubordinate. No promotion from me." Fair point. Oro says, "Cavalier, I don't remember those characters, and you know what? I shall now never forget them." Oh, Laughing Cavalier says Fook You and Fook Me and Austin Powers had more believable names than half these.
He's right, you know.
Yes, he is. Let's see what else we've got. Ordo says, "Oh no, he's becoming straight." Yeah, yep, he's definitely gonna die. Laughing Cavalier says, "Did they just smash their fist into the keyboard when coming up with names?" Yeah, I know. I wish they did smash their fists into a keyboard. It would make a better story. Maybe they would break their hands. Yep.
These names are more unpronounceable than the Dwemer Ruins and Morrowind.
Oh, yeah. This kid oozes zero aura. Maybe that's how this shrub was able to get through the Jedi Order.
True.
He just makes such little of a presence they couldn't sense him. Somehow.
That's how they couldn't tell the difference between him and the other one. Now it all makes sense.
Which, technically, that would basically make them both blanks, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just not force sensitive. Yeah, he was like only barely force sensitive enough to get in. Sorry. We were desperate for manpower at the time.
We became friends, and with two other Jedi kids, Kildo and Tep Tep. In fact, Drigget was the first person I was told. In fact, Drigget was the first person I told about my feelings for Kildo. Cool. Fine. Lovely. Awesome. She would have done anything for me. I thought I would have done anything for her. But then I abandoned her in Lonissa City, and she never forgave me for it. Drigget is here in Eriadu City. I know it. She's angry, but more than that, she's scared. And I wonder what the Jedi Order tends to do when fighting someone that is dangerous, scared, and angry. Big mystery, that, isn't it?
Right? I couldn't imagine the answer.
Well, at least you could argue she isn't force sensitive, which would be the big saving grace there, but I digress. Alright, let's continue the madness.
Did you read that last bubble there? I won't leave her behind again.
Wait, there was one more line there?
Yeah, after she's scared.
Oh, you're right. I won't leave her behind again. As I give out this grimacing face here that is absolutely not memeable. Bro looks like he has more constipated than Max Payne was in the original game. That's the look of 5 hours after Taco Bell.
Oh, God.
No, that's the look of 5 hours after Taco Bell before gorging yourself at Panera Bread. So you've got the bread to fill you up, and then you've got the Taco Bell to...
And right before, he drinks a gallon of charged lemonade.
Let the chaos continue.
I'm coming with you.
Huh?
I know her, and you're right. No one deserves to be left behind.
I'm coming too. Drigget and I have been working together for months. She's been stealing info from the Warden and passing it to the Iriduian resistance.
She has?
Rue, babysit the kid and keep him alive. And you, Emelicine, you have to stay here.
What? But Drigget needs me.
She might need Emelicine. What? Oh, what? She might need Emelicine, but the Eriaduians named Lady Emelicine Tarkin. What the fuck?
What?
I feel like Joe Biden. What am I trying to read here? She might need a medicine, but the Eriaduians need Lady Medicine Tarkin. They trust your family, and you are a symbol of hope for their future. This is your duty. Okay, that's legible.
You're right, Crash. Gavi-Roo, you'd better keep her safe. She promised she'd come back to me alive.
A promise is a promise.
Come on, then, this way. You can already tell we're in the right direction because the artwork is getting shittier the further we walk away.
Yep. The closer to the plot they get, the shittier the artwork.
Or says the Republic has 0 in all attributes except meme power. Why? Yeah, I know. Left Cavalier says, Emilcine, is that a medicine you take? It feels like it, but no.
I wish I was taking
Holy
medicine
shit!
right now.
The next image. Look at the fucking hands!
One guy's hand turned into a trowel and the other turned into, what's that, a rake. No, sorry, that's a broom.
I didn't know Edward Scissorhands was in this comic. Oh, who am I kidding? If it was Edward Scissorhands, then at least this comic would have a Tim Burton art style.
I wish Johnny Depp was here somewhere. He'd take the pain away.
Yes, he would. The Warden's Stronghold, Eriadu City.
Get in the void blasted ships! You test a ship by flying... Oh.
But Lieutenant, Parse, I thought they were still being tested.
You test a ship by flying it! I risked my life to get the schematics for these eviscerators, and the Warden put me in charge!
Jumped up little thing. She's awful.
You don't know the half of it. Ships are ready to launch, Warden!
Excellent. Drigget, send them out.
When he finds out I have in store for him and the rest of the Nihil, he'll want to kill me.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, boss. Good. Let him try. Eviscerators deployed. Have fun, boss. This is it. The beginning of the end.
Where are you going? We need to stay and... Hey, what's in that bag?
Worry about it.
Beep.
Wait!
For everything you and the Nihil have done to the galaxy, to Eriadu, to Valo, and to me, I hope you all burn.
Okay, but we haven't actually seen them do anything especially out of the box for the galaxy, Eriadu, Valo, or her.
The worst shit we saw them do was their boss sitting on a throne for 6 months while the shittiest Blade nightclub raid played around them for all that time.
Yeah, compare this to the Jedi, who just casually put planets into danger just to test the Padawans. Nobody sees the messed up shit. We never got to see the messed up shit that the Nihil have supposedly done. So, in terms of stuff that we've actually seen in these comics, the Jedi are unequivocally worse, as is the Republic. Because, mind you, the Jedi did all these messed up things under the explicit blessing of the Republic.
Ay, ay, ay.
I can feel the Force pulling me toward her, guiding me to that building. Wait, is that smoke?
Blast came from the Warden's stronghold!
Hey, what are you doing?
Taking out the trash!
Yarr!
This
You gotta
artwork,
do it
too,
like
once
the Oblivion Guard.
Wait a second. Did they cheapify her in that drawing, too?
Oh my god.
They did, didn't they?
They did.
So they turned this into a boss you killed a child situation. But apparently he's right. I do need to do my best Oblivion voice. Yarr!
Oh, God.
She's close by. I can feel the force rippling, showing me that something has changed. Drigget isn't scared anymore. Why? The smoke! She's blowing up the stronghold, and she's still inside.
I'm not afraid anymore. Not of anything like a Jedi. I've cut away every tie that holds me back.
I used to be afraid. I still am.
Holy shit, this writing. Jedi aren't supposed to be afraid. Immediately cuts to Jedi.
Maybe he's still just a... Maybe he's just still a Padawan somehow with a blue lightsaber.
I'm so afraid of what I'll find behind that door.
Oh, loud them off.
He doesn't have the Padawan hair either.
He doesn't even have the braid either. Ah!
So no, this is completely fucking cursed.
But the force is with me. Swish.
And because of that...
1, 2, 3.
There is no room in my heart for free.
Alpharius?
Drigget?
You shouldn't be here.
You saved my life.
Get out! The building's about to come down.
Why did you go back into it, you dumb bitch?
Maybe she's... Okay, maybe the hallway is falling down and somehow collapsing under her, I guess.
But look at the previous page, page 17. She's at the doorway.
That's fine. It's fine.
Kaboom.
Building's but...
Drigget.
Go! Leave me behind!
No. Whoosh, kaboom. Framp. Oof. Why is your armor so hard and pointy?
Phrasing!
Oh, God. That's not a sentence any man wants to hear in his bedroom. Shut up! Why are you dressed so fancy? Wait, what in void's name are you doing here, Gabby?
Eriadu needed my help. Then I was at this wedding, and then everyone was fighting, and then I felt you in the force, so I went looking for you.
No! You're supposed to be back on Velo! It's not safe here! Where's Tep-Tep? Kildo? Don't tell me they're here with you! You don't know what's about to happen here on Eriadu.
So talk to me. Don't run away like you did last time. Wait, weren't you the one that ran away last time?
Yes! Yes, he was! He said as much! God!
This bro is gaslighting her now.
It's not gaslighting, Ace. It's a Jedi mind trick.
It's gaslighting!
The Jedi mind trick that doesn't require the Force. What's the big difference there? I mean, it just doesn't matter.
I just want to help you.
More gaslighting!
Why? What is it going to take? Why won't you give up on me?
Because a Jedi never gives up. And because you're still my best friend.
Damn, get friend zoned. Stop!
Well-
I don't.
Well, remember,
Yeah, I know.
remember,
He's gay.
He's gay. She turned him gay. Which is a fuck.
Damn!
Paul Schlock
That's
says,
rough,
"Oh,
buddy.
those fingers! Oh, holy shit! He's right. Look at her fingers on the on her right hand.
What fingers on that? They're melting together.
I am now convinced Disney is using AI,
I mean, yeah, I imagine.
and some of the artwork from the previous page isn't looking much better. Look at how shitty the line work is on the previous page with her hands. You don't even see the actual lines from where her fingers end and the gloves begin. It's just.
My God, she has 6 fingers on one panel. On page 620, page 20. She has 6 fingers on the third panel down on the right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She does. Oh.
This shit is so ass. Oh God. God.
Or it says this page makes me want to puke rainbows. Or Yokai says the guy that gave up. Yeah, that too. Paul Schluck says, "Yay, friendship." Greek says, "Phrasing. She is called Knuckle Duster. That is why the artwork got better." Creek says, "Ace, can you catch me up on what happened these past few issues? I can only remember shards of stupidity." Not a whole lot. The storm walls fallen. Nobody is explaining why it fell. Not this comic either. So it's just magically fallen, and now we don't know.
Ay, ay, ay.
Lava Cavalier says, "Six fingers, lol, it's Anne Boleyn, not the black one." Krieg says, "You missed nothing." Or no, Yokai says to Krieg, "You missed nothing." Yeah. Alright, now let's continue the madness.
Stop! I don't want. I don't deserve your forgiveness.
Sorry, you already have it.
Why are you so. What is wrong with you?
Holy shit, their faces! What the actual fuck?
Oh! What happened to his hand? His fingers!
They're just lines!
They're lines!
His face!
Look at. Oh my God!
Her face!
This is. Oh!
Her hands! Just look how big her fucking arm is compared to her hand!
What happened to your eyes? Oh, good God, this is ass.
The artwork. God damn the artwork. Creek says, "I'm pretty sure out of the universe version is... The out-of-universe version is because the writers all got bored of their toy and are too incompetent to think of a good way to drop it." Yes. Siege says, "For fuck's sake." Aura says, "What is wrong with the whole fucking universe in this series?" Good question. Left Cavalier says, "What happened to your face?" Siege says, "Herp, derp, derp." Krieg, "What is wrong with him? What is wrong with all of them? The average cornet cultist berserker has a better grasp of subtlety, strategy, and solid conversation than all these characters combined. A whole bagload more common sense, too."
Yes. Alright, shall I continue?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but could you do this later elsewhere?
It's...
Rule? Hi, Drigget.
Oh, no.
That's... Eviscerators!
And this is going to be a longer issue, too, I noticed, because it's 33 pages long, because of course it is. Yay.
No!
Alright, let's continue.
I think it's your character next. Oh, no, sorry. Take cover, everyone!
I thought those ships were banned a century ago.
Joke's on you. This is a gun-free zone, motherfucker. So clearly you can't break that in here.
They were. Eviscerators are near.
Oh, wait. Sorry?
No, it's your character now.
Alright.
They were. Eviscerators are nearly indestructible. They were created to cut other ships in half. One is devastating, but dozens? They'll destroy the entire city.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking melee ships.
That's so dumb.
Yes, it is.
Not as dumb as the lightsaber control panel, but still.
Not but well, you know what? I actually am tempted to say no, that is actually more dumb. Because think about it. How are you going to keep the fucking pilot alive as he constantly crashes through ships? Presumably larger ships too, mind you, and potentially cities.
Give him a really good suspension system, I guess. This is so dumb!
And why wouldn't they just, you know, create anti-eviscerator technology or find ways of defeating them without necessarily... Because...
Like shields?
That as an option, or... I don't know, ion cannons that can disable ships without necessarily destroying them?
Ay, ay, ay.
You know, a thing that's been around for since the pretty much the very beginning.
Ugh.
I mean, hell, the fact that these things are probably not even shielded in the first place means that they're probably even more susceptible to ion cannons.
Ay, ay, ay. Shall we continue?
Or says, and by melee ships, I mean any large ship that may have reinforced armor in the front that isn't meant to have crew and is indeed meant to ram. A very stupid idea, but it could work. If it was uncrewed, you could take up a position that perhaps the thing is that perhaps the ship could actually, if it's uncrewed, then it's not necessarily that big of a waste of resources. And you could reinforce the ship more because you don't, you know, have to have a crew compartment or a way for the crew to get in and out of, which would compromise the structural integrity a little bit.
Yeah.
So if it was an unmanned thing, like if these were drones or droids, this would actually work this could actually potentially work. It'd still be stupid as hell, and you would still run into numerous problems with the design. There's still reasons why most ships utilize ranged combat in this. It's not like these are orcs from 40k that can and do ram shit with their aircraft. And the only reason the orcs can get away with it is because they think it works, therefore it can work.
Yeah. To get gets to space, you gotta have a lot of orcs, and obviously, if you run something into something else really fast, it's gonna blow it up. It's just how things work.
Craig says, now mind you, the Thrawn trilogy had mole miners being used as boarding pods. That is a good reason for a ship that's meant to drill through other ships to be used. Boarding. Correct. And you're only going through a certain portion of the ship. You're not going through the whole fucking thing. Or in multiple enemy ships, mind you. You're doing it once, and it's a partial penetration because you're wanting to get into the enemy ship to board. So that... And two, and as he says, or is it desperate last use? Paul Schlock says can do some holdo maneuvers with those melee ships. Thrawn used mole miners, but at least he had a solid plan with them. Correct. I'm pretty sure those things probably still had some very notable weaknesses. So, you know. Or it says, plan. What a funny unused word in the High Republic. These comics have to be a tax write-off or something. And here's the fact that I am actually doing tax write-offs better than Disney at this point. Because at least when I do claim stuff as business expenses, at least it's stuff I can thoroughly enjoy. And other people can hopefully enjoy it, even though I do it as a business expense if I do it. Like, you've seen the business expenses, the video, right?
I haven't.
Oh. Yeah, it's just me for 2 minutes saying, it's the last day of the year, here's some things I bought, and here's a video of me making use of them, so I now claim them all as a business expense.
That's great.
And the expenses admittedly included things like a VR headset, a new joystick.
Of course. Yeah, that's part of your career.
Absolutely. But anyways, Craig says, and he had to use whatever he got. One of my favorite books, part of the Red Rising series, has a bunch of insurgents using similar craft to drill through their own ship and into the enemy vessel. It's a very badass sequence where they had to outwit a very clever naval officer by doing something completely batshit. They had to get their own ship boarded first, scuttle it, then did that. Yeah, good writing can save something that seems a little silly. I mean, hell, take the tie wings. At least the writing, the lore explanation for those, despite being almost completely useless, is that the pirates that use tie wings have almost nothing else to rely upon, and that's what they have at hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares if they have the maneuverability of a Y-wing and the survivability of a TIE fighter? They are the only thing they've got, and it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Literally, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's continue the madness.
Face your death, Iriduans. None can stand against me.
Is this it? Did we lose Eriadu City?
Not yet. Cover your ears.
She set all of them to blow up from the inside, didn't she?
Oh my god.
Command received. Cooling systems overridden. Power core temperature rising. System failure imminent.
I didn't input a...
System failure imminent. System failure imminent.
All of the Nihil's eviscerators are exploding!
Ha! She really pulled it off.
What the fuck is wrong with her shoulders?
Jesus Christ, and how do you even know about that plan? What are you talking about? Who is she? What did she pull off? What?
Also, some of the other artwork. When did this character have a bow tie?
Look at the fucking mole people behind her.
Yes.
Wait. Oh my god, she has a bow tie. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, a bow tie.
Let's take a look here. I'm going to look at some past pages and see if she had one. See, with the bow tie on all of them. Yeah? She got it. She went from not having one in one panel to having it in the next. What the fuck?
What panel? What
Page 10. Look at this shit.
You're right. The
She went from not having a bow tie to... But she had it in page 5, so there was just...
Let me take off this bow tie while I kick this dude.
You can't even claim it's a angle thing. You'd be able to see the bow tie from where she was slide kicking that dude.
Yes.
But
I suspect the reason we're noticing the bow tie now is because of how shitty it looks.
most likely. Oh yeah, it's literally just so ass.
Paul Schlock says, activate the Deus Ex Machina. Krieg says, Doros, these pirates are illiterate and brain damaged. Have some mercy. Make-A-Wish tried their best to equip them.
The time has come.
Why does he look so bad to be... Why does he look so happy to be in a war zone? Yeah, that too.
Ay, ay, ay.
Alright, let the pain continue. System failure imminent.
My eviscerators! Drigget, what's going on? Your ship schematics were faulty.
They sure are. Well, not originally. There was nothing wrong in the schematics I stole, but I never gave you those. I swapped them for a sabotaged version and passed the real schematics to the Iridudian resistance instead. It's like I've been passing them intel about your forces.
After everything I've done for you, you were a Republic spy?
I wouldn't say that. I just hate you. I've spent months working for you, gaining your trust and wanting to crawl out of my own skin every second of it. Maybe you shouldn't have taken in someone who reminded you of yourself. You killed your mentor too, remember? Goodbye, Warden. Have fun in Bree Frang. Hope you die a horrible death.
Boom, 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 boom. Drigget, Parse, don't you dare discuss...
Light above.
Did that feel good? You have no idea. I do. Jesus Christ, thank God you're no longer a Jedi.
Yes.
Ugh. More Nihil approaching from the left. There's so many of them. They just keep coming. I really thought blowing up the Warden's stronghold would help. I'm just one person with one bag of explosive charges.
It's okay. The Force led me back to you for a reason. If we stick together, we'll make it through this. Imelsine told me what you've done for the cause, and you just took out the Warden's entire Eviscerator fleet. And we're not alone. The Jedi in the Republic are striking it back against the Nihil everywhere. Once we defeat them, we'll go home to Velo together.
Gavi.
Get back!
Alright, yeah, you voice this character.
Stay away from my family!
Mom, I'm scared.
Gavi, those people need help! They're trapped! They're in a hill on the bridge overhead as well as the street.
We've got you.
Jedi, you'll save us, right? That's what Jedi do.
Once, I believed Gavi and the Force could do anything. Even shift an injured world back into shape that made sense. I know better now. Lose focus, Gavi! And yet...
Holy shit, the artwork again! Look at her face!
Oh! Her eyes! Her hand! Her arm is a spiked nub! Hold that wall together and protect those civilians. That's your duty as a Jedi. Don't look back!
Drigget, what are you...
Wait! What the fuck? Did she just force pull his lightsaber into her fucking hand?
No, she grabbed it.
Okay. What are you doing? You want to voice the...
Yes. What are you doing, Drigget, playing Jedi?
Huh? I don't know how to use a lightsaber. It's a Jedi's weapon, and I'm not a Jedi. But I've watched Gabby practice for years, and I know this. Standing here beside him instead of against him for the first time in a long time. I want to survive. I want a future. I believe I can have one, whether I deserve it or not. And I will do whatever it takes to carve that future into being.
What in Borsavar's bloody bathwater?
Ooh. The Force is not with me, but it's with Gavi. That's enough.
Drigget, you saved our lives. I can't wait to tell everyone about it when you get back to Valo.
I'm not going back.
Also, look at his face.
It's 3 triangles!
It is.
Those fucks! Those genuinely lazy bastards!
Hmm?
What? But I just found you again.
I love Valo the way you love the Force. But after what I've done, do you really think I have a home there anymore? Some days I think I died in the day the heel took over our planet. The person I used to be back then is gone. I thought trying to kill you would kill the last piece of her too.
Once again, the artwork, because, yes. Her face, once again, his fingers as he's reaching towards her, by the way, which is closer up, which should be more detailed, because, you know.
Oh,
How many more pages? Just 2. Okay. Let's get through this as quickly as possible.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Gavi, for everything.
Drigget,
Remember how you told me you wanted to be a great Jedi someday? You already are.
Kaboom.
Shit!
Ugh. She's gone.
Will you go after her?
I want to, but my place is here, protecting the people of Eriadu, just like you, Crash, Emilcine, and the others. And besides, I can still feel her. What was broken between us isn't fully fixed, but it's healing. She doesn't know it yet, but the Force does, and so do I. The end.
Didn't end fast enough.
Yeah, so notice that this was supposed to be about the Battle of Eriadu City, and instead, it is focuses predominantly on them mending their relationship back, or their friendship, sorry.
Women writers, am I right?
Yes. To be fair, though, it's not exclusively her. Just look at Daniel Jose Older and what he's done.
That's true. That's true, actually. That was very sexist of me. I think writers of all Disney persuasions are dog shit.
Correct. And I have noticed that there are 0 comments on this comic.
God, I hate it so much. When did this come out?
This came out on April the 30th of this year.
Good God.
And it's not the only one. This was one of at least, I think, 3 different comics that came out on the same day that are all High Republic. Because of course they did. And once again, the Stormwell fell, and absolutely nobody has a fucking clue of how it fell.
Yep, just don't mention it.
I was really hoping that this was... Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment, but I was kind of expecting that the Battle of Eriadu comic would be the one that would actually explain that.
Ay, ay.
Sheed says, damn it, she's alive. The Stormwall still remains unexplained. Yep. So Krieg says these idiots don't forget that Star Wars was not Marvel or DC. Good people die here all the time. We have standards. Oh, there's comments on this comic, right? This chat is full of them. Yep. Ura says this chat has been the most viewers this comic has ever had. Very likely at this point. Laughing Cavalier says, I thought you were going to say it came out on April 1st. No, that might... I don't remember if the Wedding Spectacular came out on April 1st, but... No, this came out on the 30th. Paul Schluck says the commenters were left speechless. Yes. Okay, another note, why are there so many aliens on the Eriadu? Good question. That's probably because one of the cities actually has the aliens and the other doesn't, or something. Laughing Cavalier says, I've fallen and I can't get up the storm wall. Yeah. Greek says, Eriadu, in proper lore, is very human supremacist, has been for ages. It still is here. It's just that one of the cities has all the aliens in it, I think.
Don't ask about the aliens that used to live on Naboo.
Don't ask about all those other Force religions that used to be on Space Jerusalem.
Yeah, I literally looked it up. There's no explanation online for why the storm wall fell. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well, before the Empire, that Eriadu even practiced slavery. The Outland Security Force was set up. It was humans only, but here, aliens everywhere. Yeah. Well, they are still changing the lore.
Maybe this is before the slavery started.
Well, the thing is, they're already racist and whatnot in this timeline of Star Wars, so, you know. But even outside of that, I think Disney is setting up some implications that they probably don't want set up. Like, what happened to the space Palestinians on Space Jerusalem? That's probably a take that Disney is probably not intending to put out there. I'm just saying. Laughing Cavalier says, somehow it fell. I have altered the lore. Pray I don't alter it any further. Craig says, you'd think they'd be in the slums or in the squalor. You'd have to see it. It is a comic. Use visual storytelling, but that takes actual damned effort. These writers know lore and name only. I don't even think they know the lore and name only at this point. This cannot change lore as it's fanfics. Some parts, like at least at season 1 of Andor, are pretty good fanfics. Parts like these, not quite My Immortal, but still terrible. Yeah.
I literally looked it up, and your video is in the Google results. What the fuck?
What?
You're short. Somehow the storm wall has vanished. That... Literally, there is no explanation. I've just...
The fact that my shorts are actually turning up as serious Google results because so few people actually give a shit about the High Republic.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Or says, every time I think I read this, I think back to the worst fanfics of all time and think, sir, I have judged you unfairly. To some degrees, that is correct. The actual original Mary Sue might actually be comparatively forgivable to High Republic at this point.
Oh god.
you know, the one character that was loved by everyone and made a heroic sacrifice that everyone wept for and all that. The biggest case of self-insert, I think, of all time. One of the more notorious cases of self-insert. To the point that it literally coined the phrase Mary Sue. And this is outdoing that.
Might be. Yeah. Oh, sweet mercy.
Laughing Cavalier says, where was Gondor when the Stormwall fell? Shaka, when the storm walls fell. Krieg says the original Mary Sue, as far as I understand, was essentially a shitpost mocking some fanfic writers. If that's actually the case and it was just a massive shitpost, then well done. Okay, I didn't know that about the story, because if that's the case, then that does shed a new light on that. So, is this comic worth reading? No! No, it is not. It is a travesty. It doesn't even explain how the Stormwall fell, which has been one of the biggest fucking mysteries that we've gotten so far in the entirety of the High Republic. It is the
biggest plot point in what I can tell is this third act of the story.
And nobody knows how it fell. They've still not adequately explained it so far.
This is how the bad guys are gonna lose. And they haven't explained it.
This is quite legitimately step 1, set up Stormwall. Step 2, block fleet. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, the Stormwall fell. Nobody has explained how the Stormwall has fucking fallen. And that is probably, you know what? You're right. That is actually the biggest plot hole in the entirety of High Republic. And the artwork, yeah, the artwork is bad. It's actually, the artwork is making me look at Rob Liefeld and go, we have definitely judged you far too harshly.
Ugh.
It is just, there is nothing redeeming about this. There is nothing redeeming about this particular comic at all, except for the fact that it's a one-shot. So it is technically a one-and-done deal.
Please. Please so.
And fortunately, Craig says Rob Liefeld had some good shading and shots. It was exaggerated, but he was consistent, had some good moments. Correct! Correct. He's become a meme. He has become a meme for overdoing it. And there is that one front cover or so, or planned front cover, I guess, for Captain America that has become the stuff of legends. But I'm sitting here looking at that and comparing it to this. And that is loads better looking than this. In fact, there's actually been people who have come out defending that particular front cover since, pointing out that technically it's not as badly drawn as people think. It just looks a little weird. But
honest to God, these comics would look better if Rob Liefeld drew them.
Yes. Rob Liefeld, all is forgiven. Just please save us from modern Disney and Marvel. Laughing Cavalier says, of communism in November 1989. Another line from... Wait, what? Laughing Cavalier says, Phase 3 features the Stormwall, which was influenced by the Berlin Wall. Author Justina Ireland had a happy childhood memories about news about the fall of the Berlin Wall and the supposed end of communism in November 1989, which is really amusing because Justina Ireland is a woke activist like the rest of them, meaning she's a leftist.
Christ.
Maybe she's one of those leftists that unironically keeps arguing that Hitler was right about the Soviet Union by claiming it was a state capitalism or something.
Maybe.
And,
or maybe they are just a horde of climate cultists like we imagined.
Siege says Liefeld's feet are better than this comic. Or it says to the left, Cavalier, the bull crap in there. Creek says the storm wall was an impenetrable barrier established by the Nihil in the occlusion zone. The eye of the Nihil Marchion Row created the storm wall with storm seeds, devices developed by Chancey Yar. Okay. Yara. Eventually the storm wall fell. Wikipedia.
Somehow, the storm wall fell.
Yes. We don't know how. They're not going to tell us. It just fell. One day.
It just did! Stop asking questions!
It's the anti-Todd Howard. It just didn't work.
So bad!
So yeah, is this comic worth reading? No. It is a travesty. Avoid it.
Oh, God.
Creek says, that is no joke. Cavalier was right. It is in the Wikipedia. Look it up. Wow, I don't want to. This is killing my brain. Yeah, I know. Ugh. Okay. So now that we've had that out of the way, is there anything left you would like to add? Anything else you have to say about this, Alpharius?
Well, that's a pretty shitty way to introduce the fact your character is gay by just having him say, oh yeah, that one guy. Name, the boy I love. And that's all he has to say about him.
Yep.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah, that was pretty gay of Disney to do. And, well, I think that's everything I needed to say as well, so I think we better go ahead and call it here. So, yeah, this has been Ace.
This has been Alpharius.
Thank you for being on.
I'm happy to be here.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.